This is the CRKT Redemption. Quite an impressive beast. Well, unless you're into traditional old school knife designs, then this may look a little too edgy and tactical for you, so to speak. But personally, I can appreciate somewhat exotic knife designs, at least if they're also practical. So, is this practical? Well, let's take a look. First off, the blade is made of 01 tool steel, tempered to a hardness of 56 to 58 HRC, which is quite reasonable for a blade of this size. And 01 is remarkably tough steel. It's tougher than 1095 and has higher wear resistance than other carbon steels, including 5160. So really strong and durable stuff. As you can see, it has a recurve edge, flat grind. The back of the blade is not sharpened. It has a false edge or a swedge or whatever you want to call it. And it is quite an acute grind, so it wouldn't take much to actually sharpen it if you wanted to. The handle is G10 and very ergonomically shaped, as you can see. In fact, a little too ergonomically. I'll get to that. It's quite a pronounced finger choil, palm swell. It is a 3/4 tang, so you can see the tang goes up to about here. Personally, I normally prefer full tang knives, but 3/4 is just fine for a blade of this length. And yeah, with the steel being very tough, G10 also pretty tough material, so don't really have to worry about that. It's got some jimping here, quite a nice depth. It's not too aggressive, but definitely enough to give you extra traction. And that's where the thumb rests naturally. Due to the shape of the handle, there's really only one good way to grip it. This is the most comfortable. Hammer grip doesn't really work very well, at least for me. The main issue is that in that case, this bit here sticks out too much, and it's most likely going to rub against one of your fingers, and as you'll see later, this is a problem in general. It comes with this nylon sheath here. It's got a plastic insert, I'm guessing probably Kydex. It has a pouch. Quite a bit of space in there, actually. The fit is quite loose. In fact, this is really not holding onto it at all. It can fall out pretty easily. So you're gonna have to use this strap here with the snap button. This is plastic, by the way, so I would prefer if the snap button was metal for durability. So this could be better. It would definitely be nicer if the insert actually held onto the blade. It's got a variety of attachment options, which is nice. Molly style attachment. Then there's paracord here for tying it to your leg if you like. Additional strap. Could use that as well to attach it to the leg. Lots of options here. You could remove the paracord and use it for whatever necessary in the situation. Got belt straps here, which should fit for pretty wide belts, and also come with snap buttons, and you can even attach the length if you like with the Velcro. So that's very nice. This is the kind of sheath that really fits in pretty much any scenario, so you have a wide variety of options. That's very nice. So I really like the versatility of this sheath. I like the pouch. The fit, not so much. So how about usage? Well, for chopping, this is amazing. I was very impressed by it. The blade shape is somewhat reminiscent of a Greek kopis sword, and the recurve here really helps draw in the material, especially if you do a slicing cut, but also when chopping. Really makes sure that it gets maximum edge contact. The first swing that I took, I stopped for a moment because I was very impressed by how deep it bit into the wood. It's very powerful, makes processing wood quite easy. It's of course more compact than an axe, although the weight it might be about similar depending on the kind of axe. If you just have a small forest axe or hatchet, then might not be too different. Batoning really wouldn't work well for that. The grind on the spine is just too acute, so you would just chew up the baton very quickly. So it's really better for chopping. There's one problem that I have with it, namely the grip. As I already said, it's kind of too ergonomic, and this does actually interfere with chopping quite a bit. In fact, after only about 10 minutes of use, there was already a blister developing on my index finger. And the reason for that is, as I was chopping, my finger was rubbing against the protrusion here at the base of the finger choil. And that's a problem. I'll want to cut this off, grind it down, just get rid of it. This does not help, quite the contrary. Makes it rather uncomfortable with prolonged use. Yes, sure, it gives you a more secure grip on it, and that's good because the grip itself is rather on the slick side. It doesn't really have a pronounced texture. So that is a bit of a problem, but this really bangs up your hand more than anything else. And also the flared bottom had a bit of a tendency to beat up my little finger. It does help prevent the hand from slipping off, which is nice, but it does get uncomfortable pretty quickly when chopping hard materials. So this is a bit of a problem. The overall shape definitely lends itself to powerful chops. You can see the handle is somewhat curved. Personally, I have to say I would probably prefer if it was straight and instead just had a simpler palm swell and not too much else. Because, yeah, for one, like I said, limited versatility. It's really just one grip. And of course, this kind of grip is not ideal for chopping. For chopping, I really prefer a hammer grip. That is a bit of a problem with this. So it really limits its use. And that also leads me to think that this is not really the ideal camping tool, like, or survival or what have you, bushcraft. If you had to do a lot of work with this, a lot of chopping over prolonged periods of time, this would be a problem because the handle is just not very comfortable for that. However, as a weapon, as a self-defense tool, yeah, that definitely works because for that it's quite good, locks well in the hand. This kind of saber grip here is fine for defensive use. And of course, the recurve here is very useful for a slicing, draw cut or push cut. And this would do a lot of damage. I mean, this is pretty nasty. So yeah, as a defensive tool, definitely I could see that, even though it is a bit large and heavy to carry. And of course, you may not be allowed everywhere to carry something like this for self-defense. So at that point, it becomes more of a collector's item, collector's weapon, like a sword or stuff like that. And of course, personally, I can very much appreciate it for that. So what about the edge? Here's the sharpness out of the box, and I have to apologize for the atrocious video quality. I almost forgot recording this. It was right before I had it out, so I just grabbed the camera real quick, and yeah, it was a terrible setup, so really bad quality, but you can still see it. And after use, let's see here, still cutting, but I can tell it's definitely a little dull now. So, yeah, depends. There are some dull spots, definitely. Let's see here, regular paper, office paper. So, you can see still sharp enough to do the job, although up here, yeah, definitely it is dulled. So I'd say the edge retention is not amazing, but not bad either. And as far as the steel is concerned in general, as said, the main advantage here is really toughness. It's a very strong, durable steel. So this blade is not going to get damaged anytime soon. You could abuse this, you could pry with this, you could do all kinds of things with it, and it would hold up very, very well. No problems there. And the handle is also going to hold up quite well. It's very securely attached, strong material, no problem. The price range is between $200 and $300, although I have seen it for as low as $183.83 at HR Knives. Links down below in the video description, along with the specifications, length, weight, and all of that. Speaking of specifications, the center of gravity is actually pretty close to the handle. It would have a bit more chopping power if it was slightly more tip heavy, but at the same time, the way it is, it's not going to tire you out as much. I've also seen something on Amazon listed as CRKT Foresight, which seems to be exactly this, the Redemption. It costs less than the one that they actually list as Redemption on the website, but the exact same model code is displayed, and the photo is the same. I don't know what's up with that. The CRKT Foresight is actually a completely different knife, so I have no idea why this, something that looks the exact same as this and same specifications and everything, is listed as Foresight as well as Redemption. Whatever. It might be the same, but then I don't know what the different price is about. I'm just going to post all the links, maybe somebody can figure it out. In terms of overall quality, materials, fit and finish, performance, it's definitely worth $200 at least, or $250, or in that ballpark. Absolutely worth it in my opinion. As far as the design is concerned, it is specialized. As a weapon and collector's item, definitely awesome. Great design, looks good, feels good in the saber grip, and would definitely be quite a deterrent. As a tool, well, the handle has some issues, as said. It's a little over-designed, I'd say. So as long as you keep that caveat in mind, the very specialized design, it's great. I have no problem recommending this at all. I've been very happy with it. I've definitely enjoyed using it despite it giving me blisters. Quite frankly, it's an awesome knife, really. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you found this review helpful, and thanks for watching, as always.